Hello, welcome back to another video of Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. In this video, we will talk about how to use the reread method in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation. So when working with the form and data in Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation, it's crucial to understand how to keep the data displayed in your form synchronized with the underlying database. Okay, so we know that for each and every form there is a data source involved in it. Okay, so one important method that helps to achieve to display the data in a form that is the reread. Okay, so in this video we will try to explain a comprehensive yet very simple explanation of the reread method and its usage and best practices to ensure you as a developer or a student you can confidently implement in your projects. Okay, so let's first try to understand very much clearly that what is reread method. The reread method you can see over here in Dynamics 365 F&O is used to refresh the current records data, okay, in a form from the database. So for example, current record means there is a table, and inside this table you have selected one row, that is one record inside a table, and if you want to refresh that current record, then you have to reread that particular record to refresh it in the form. Okay, so however, an important aspect is to note that when calling the reread method does not immediately update what you see on the screen. So it updates the form's internal data cache, but require additional step to reflect these changes visually on the form. So if you want to refresh the data as well, there is a refresh method, you can also call that. Okay, then if someone is asking what is the reread method, you just tell that it reload the current record from the data source or database via the data source itself or the table buffer itself. Okay, now if you want to use this method, you have to use the data source name and then you have to use the dot operator, and via that you can call the reread method. So you can see over here this particular line of code fetches the latest data of the current record from the database and updates the form cache. Okay, and if you want to show the changes on the form after you using the reread, you need to call the refresh method to update the form and display the changes to the user. So immediately you have to call these two methods. After reread you can call the refresh one. Okay, so refresh method redraw the form to show the updated data in the front end. Okay, here one may ask one question: when to use the reread? The reread method is particularly useful in a scenario where you need to update the current records data and reflect those changes on the form. So there can be some common scenario for updating the current record. Suppose you have a button that updates some value in the current record through the code. Now to show the changes to the user, you need to follow these steps, three steps. First, update the database with the new value. Second one, you have to call the reread to fetch the latest data from the database, and the third one, you have to call the refresh to update the display on the form itself. Okay, so let me give one overview or summary of this particular video. So understanding and using the reread method effectively ensure that your form display the most up-to-date data from the database. Okay, so reread refresh the current record data in the form cache from the database but does not update on the screen. Redraw the form to display the updated data, and in some scenario you will get some kind of issue that update conflict, you can get the update conflict. So on that case as well, if you will use the reread method, your problem will resolve. Okay, so on that case as well you can reread, and if you want to update the record, then you have to use a select for update, and then you have to pass the true value based on the buffer that you want to select. So on that case also it is helpful. Okay, so thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.